Egy olyan dimenzióváltás előtt van a magyar gazdasági rendszer, amit ma még kevesen értenek. De itt hatalmas fejlesztési forrásokat halmoztunk föl, nagyon nagy programokat fogalmaztunk meg. 10 év múlva erre a gazdaságra alig lehet majd ráismerni. Tehát ez egy digitalizált gazdaság lesz, ez egy körforgásos, tehát a saját hulladékát is földolgozni képes gazdasági rendszer lesz. Egy teljesen más széndioxid kibocsátást radikálisan lecsökkentett energiarendszerrel működő gazdaság lesz, ahol fönn fogjuk tudni tartani közben a teljes foglalkoztatást, és gyorsabban fogunk növekedni érzékelhetően, mint az Európai Unió nyugati fele. Tehát itt egy egész más világ bontakozik ki előttünk, az emberek is gyarapodni fognak, a jómód nagyobb lesz, nagyobb lakásokban, nagyobb otthonokban fognak élni, és több gyerekük is lesz a következő évtizedre. Ez nagy biztonsággal megjósolható. Ennek a terveit elkészítettük, a fejlesztési tervek megvannak. Ennek a pénzügyi fedezetét Varga Mihály csapata előállította, ennek a felhasználási rendjét Palkovics miniszter úrnak a csapata kialakította, tehát az évtized, ami előttünk van, az fantasztikus évtized lehet.
Some governments and corporations, for the first time in history, have the power to basically hack human beings. There is a lot of talk about hacking computers, hacking smartphones, hacking bank accounts, but the big story of our era is the ability to hack human beings. And by this I mean that if you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible. And in such a situation, the old democratic system stopped functioning. We need to reinvent democracy for this new era in which humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. We need to come to terms with the fact that, no matter, again, this is where philosophy meets computer science and biology. No matter what you think ultimately is the truth of the universe, you have to realize that practically today we have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale, and this means we need to reinvent democracy, we need to reinvent the market. Again, the whole idea of the customer is always right. We just do whatever the customers want. Yes, but you can now hack the customers. You can manipulate the customers to want what you tell them to want. So this whole idea that corporations just serve the needs of the customers, this is over. You can't hide behind this.
I think the good signals that we do see around us is that in this crisis, even many people and politicians which previously disregarded science are turning to it as the ultimate authority, as the most trustworthy authority. In Israel, for example, they closed down all the synagogues. In Iran, they shut down the mosques. Churches all over the world are telling people stay away from church because even the religious authorities are trusting what the scientists are saying when the scientists tell them that, look, these places of worship should be closed down because they could spread infection.
The first industrial revolution is, it doesn't change what you are doing, it changes you. If you take genetic editing, right. Just as an example, it's you who are changed. Yeah, and of course this has a big impact on your identity.
Yeah. And offers certain kinds of possibilities that have to be careful about. You know, when you began to do that kind of gene editing, some people worry that you are changing what it means to be human.
That's the problem. And of course, the new industrial revolution offers us many opportunities, but it raises manifold questions on the ethical, but even legal implications. And we have to be prepared for it. And that's what we want to do.
We need to form an ongoing agency vis-a-vis pandemics. I think every government now realizes that even if COVID goes away, we may be entering an era of global pandemics that are much more challenging than a global pandemic a century or two ago, in the sense that it just goes on and on because of the rapid movement of people. It turns out you can't stop people from moving around. In order for the world to meet the 2050 net zero emission goal, we need technologies that do not exist yet. We need inventions that do not exist yet. And this is not me saying this. This is Bill Gates and anyone who looks at the picture as it is. Alternative food, especially alternative meat, which we all know that the meat industry is a big cause of carbon in the atmosphere, and so we're focused on that.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Unanimity, something should be done, but how you get from where we are today to like a green world is utterly undefined. And as a result of that, what we're finding around the world, particularly in the United States, is that people who extend credit are worrying that if they extend credit to anybody producing hydrocarbons, that they're not virtuous. And nobody's telling them not to extend credit, but that is occurring on an extremely wide-scale basis. If you try and raise money to drill holes, it's almost impossible to get that money. Now, the reason this is important, and why Anna was making sort of a plea for governments to get involved, is that with the decline curve of hydrocarbons, leave out coal, we're going to end up with a real shortage of energy. And when you have a shortage, it's just going to cost more. And it's going to probably cost a lot more. And when that happens, you're going to get very unhappy people around the world, on the emerging markets in particular, but in the developed world.
We're seeing it at the moment in Europe.
That what happens then, Richard, is you've got real unrest, and this challenges the political system, and it's all utterly unnecessary. You have to have governments agree what the rules of the road are, so society can successfully transition from where we are to where we need to be.